Fresh from the showcase here at SwissWatchExpo. This morning we're talking about the incredible Cartier Tank Americaine, the American tank. And this is a fascinating watch. We've talked before about how the Cartier tank watch came about that was inspired by the military tank that was really one of the decisive factors in World War I. Cartier made it as a thank you gift and a tribute to the American and British tank forces that defeated the enemy and kept France free. And so that is why it's called Tank. And it came out in 1917. One of the first ones was given as a thank you gift to General Black Jack Pershing of the American Army. But 4 years later, they came out with a longer one that was curved, and it was called the Tank Cintree. It means curved or arched in French. And you can see the way this watch is, it is actually flat on the case back, but the top of the watch is curved with the wrist. And nothing really exudes Art Deco as much as this watch. So if you're an Art Deco fan, this is definitely something that should get your attention. Cartier was the jeweler that was at the forefront of the Art Deco movement. The previous Art Nouveau jewelry that had been made was very swirly, and it had organic sort of lines, things that imitated fronds of palms, natural things like seashells and birds and all sorts of things like that. Art Deco comes along and Cartier changed the world for jewelry and watches by making things with sleek perpendicular lines, with decoration that was based not on the previous garland style that had the swirls and that sort of thing, but more about repeated motifs, lines that complemented the function of the item. And so when this watch came out in 1921, it was made in very small numbers. If you're a movement person, you know that Cartier, that they partnered with Edmond Jaeger of Jaeger-LeCoultre early on, that Cartier made the cases and the watches, Jaeger made the movements, and they formed a company together for the express purpose of building these watches. But it faded away quickly and it came back into just being a Cartier watch. So the Cintree was something that was kind of flirted with off and on for years. Fast forward to when the big South African conglomerate Richemont was being formed and the modern Cartier company was kind of coming out of those organizational questions, what happened after the Cartier brothers had all passed on. And in 1989, in one of the biggest, boldest moves of the new company, they reinvented the old Tank Cintree into the American tank. And so 1989, this was a real hallmark, a look back at Cartier's history, but a modern improvement. The thought was that Americans liked bigger, bolder watches, and so this was a much bigger case than what the Louis Cartier tank was at the time. We have in stock here at SwissWatchExpo a great variety of Cartier Tank Americaine watches. You can see here we have some delicate ladies' watches that have the sides of the watch fully in diamonds. These are 18-karat white gold models. You see the classic Cartier dials with the extended Roman numerals, the blued sword-shaped hands, the engraved guilloche dials, the beautiful cabochon on the crown, and the invisible double deployant buckle on the case, on the bracelet, I'm sorry. That's kind of the classic look. But then they have all these variations. Cartier is such a creative company, and they have so many different versions of the dials, and they continuously reinvent what they've already done for years. So we have a lot of fun with the strap colors. You can see this one that is purple. You can actually get any color strap you want for one of these watches through Cartier and really spruce it up. We have the current mid-size model in rose gold with the really unusual bracelet that's on it. Next over we have a really interesting dial that is a fabric sort of texture to it with the Arabic numbers, and then you see the diamonds, they've changed the design and made them on the top and the bottom as well, not just on the sides. Then we have sort of the classic yellow gold ladies watch. We have the white gold with the same kind of Arabic numbers for men, but then this one, it is really kind of, to me, one of the real standouts for the Art Deco design, the way they've done the Roman numerals on this one. Not the traditional Cartier Roman numerals, but a much larger 6 and 12. and then the lines between the other ones on the sides, just a really, really interesting look. I don't think I've ever seen any dial laid out the way that one is. The next one over, this is an interesting watch. It's from the late 90s, early 2000s. This movement is called the chrono reflex movement, and it was developed in conjunction with Piaget. It took 5 years of R&D. It's a very complicated movement. It's a perpetual calendar as well as a split-second chronograph that is run by a battery and a computer chip. It has 5 motors in the movement, so I would never look down on it, call it just a quartz movement. It's a jeweled quartz movement that has so much going on. It took so long for them to produce it, and into the thin size that it is and all the functions that it does. It's really a handy watch to have, and all the different things that it'll do for you. And then over here we have kind of the current, I guess, flagship model that is the platinum case with a hand-wound mechanical movement. Again, if you're a movement person, you know that there's a push to bring all these movements in-house and make them all manufacture calibers. And so Cartier is participating along in that. They are part of the Richemont group, which also owns Vacheron Constantin, Jaeger-LeCoultre, Piaget, and so they've got some movement companies in there that really helps them out with their huge appetite at Cartier for watches with different shape movements, different size movements. The next one is quite interesting. This one is in the current catalog. In 2017, for the 100th anniversary of the Tank watch, they introduced a lot of new models, and for the first time ever, gasp, they made the American Tank in stainless steel. So it's a bargain. It looks honestly indistinguishable from the 18-karat white gold model, and so you get all the great looks. It's of course, modern watch with water resistance and all that sort of thing, but it is in stainless steel. The next one here is the ladies' white gold, kind of basic standard one. But then this one is the one that, again, if you're a movement aficionado, this one is an automatic chronograph with the date in an extra large case. It is 52 millimeters high. It is a big watch, and so if you ever thought to yourself, I'd like a Tank watch, but they're just too small for my big wrist, think that no further. This watch, the extra large American Tank, will definitely fit the bill. Because it is curved with the wrist, it is a little bit easier to wear in a large size than a lot of other watches. It definitely fits under a shirt cuff and would look great anything from casual to really dressy. So the American Tank, the Tank Americaine, something that we keep in stock in good numbers here at SwissWatchExpo. Give us a call. We'll be happy to talk about and distinguish one from another. We'll be happy to find the perfect one for you and get it shipped out to you right away. But if you're looking at one of these in particular, don't hesitate, because they're so creative and so unusual, and they do move quickly. Go ahead and give us a call.